back, you might want to put a blanket or a cushion under your mid-back and cactus out your arms, because I want you to feel that your heart's open. Just some heart openers today. So while you just settle into the breath and feel your heart space open and invite in whatever you need for your practice, I'm going to just tell you what happened to me yesterday. So yesterday I'm at Tesco's. I've got a massive shop, going through the checkout, and my tomatoes spill all over the floor. And this woman came to help me. I was scrabbling around, really peed off, and this woman bent down and she picked up the last tomato and she passed it to me, and she smiled at me, and she really, really smiled at me, but just really gently, not a big grin, just a soft smile, but really looked at me. And I just felt myself go, oh. And it was really kind and really, really nice. And it was just a small act of kindness, but it really had this huge effect on me. And I was struck by it. Such a tiny act of kindness can have such a big effect. And then I went into the car park and there was this old funky looking woman, funky as in cool, big glasses and flower shirt. She was like, can I have your trolley, please? I said, yeah, I just put my shopping in. I said, here, you can have it. She started trying to give me £1. And I'm like, no, I don't want it. It's fine, you can have it. She's like, no. We were like that for a while. And then I said, it's a gift. And she started saying all these lovely things about how kind I was. And I was thinking, it's only £1. Like, it's just a trolley. And then she said, I'm 85, you know. And I was like, oh yeah, because she didn't look it at all. She went, do you want to know my secret? I said, yeah, I do, actually. She said, every morning, a little bit of turmeric, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of cider vinegar and lemon and hot water, a little bit every day. I don't know where she was from, maybe Eastern European, I don't know. And she said it's kept her young and away from the doctor, and it was so sweet. And she was so sweet. She didn't want to let me go. And I felt like, because I'd given her this gift of the trolley, that she wanted to give me something, and she gave me her precious secret to long life. You could tell, like, it meant so much to her. And it was so sweet, and I was so moved, and I thought, God, I've been to Tesco and had these two human enlightening moments that involve just tiny acts of kindness touching another person. And it got me to thinking about Ahimsa, the first yama, which is non-harming, non-violence, which sounds kind of neutral, or even just like, let's not do the negative. But that's Ahimsa, isn't it? In its most finest form, I think. I think it's Ahimsa manifesting as yoga intends it to be, really, because it's a state. Ahimsa is a state. It's a way of being, it's a way of feeling, it's a way of interacting. And actually selfishness is not the natural human state. That's learned behavior coming from fear. So I'm going to invite you to let your whole heart flood with Ahimsa, that state of non-violence, non-harming, and love for yourself and for others, for the world and for the universe, and inviting in whatever other intention that you may have. And I have got a little reading for you, but what I'm going to suggest is, let's just get moving. So from here, so staying on your back, draw your right knee into your chest. You might want to get rid of the cushion now. And draw the right knee across the body, and we'll just take a nice stretch. You know, you might want to go out to the right, out to the left. Take a few breaths there, and then we'll swap sides. So just get moving a little bit. It's only a very short reading. So it's from this book that has daily readings that Eva got for me. And it's from the 24th of August. So it was yesterday's reading, you see. So these things are synchronous. And I think it's relevant. So it says, like all things, Love can be on many levels, yet it is the only constant. Sometimes it is forgotten, sometimes it's no longer used, but love is always there. So remember love when you wake, remember love when you go through your day. Remember to give love to all, regardless of their position in your life. And remember love before you sleep, making each moment of your life a time of true blessings for you and all others. Isn't that lovely? Just to come back to that state of love all the time whenever we can. Shall we roll over? Let's roll over. So I'm going to swing myself up, cross the ankles, pop your hands down, and let's come into downward facing dog. And you know, we all have anger, don't we? We have anger, resentfulness, jealousy, all those feelings are human, and we have to allow them, but know that they are temporary. That the true state of being is love. We can always come back to that, and we can allow the anger, allow everything else, but know that it will pass, that it doesn't define us, who we are. Let's take another couple of breaths here in our down dog. And let's inhale, lift the right leg high and spin the hip. Circle the ankle a couple of times, each direction. And then squaring off the hips, let's step the right foot through, land the back knee, and let's come into another heart open. I'm just going to turn the music up a little bit now. It's nice to have a bit of some music, isn't it? So I always think of the heart chakra when I think of Ahimsa. So Ahimsa is the non-harming yama, and Anahata is heart chakra. A and A, they go together, don't they? They're almost inextricably linked, I think. So thinking of heart chakra with our Ahimsa, non-violence, non-harming. Let's inhale, float the arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, fold and flex. So we're aiming the big toe up to the sky and the chin to the big toe. Let's just flow with the breath. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, fold and flex. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold and flex. Let's do one more. Brilliant. Alright, let's come into a lunge twist now. We're going to lift the back knee, place the left hand on the ground, float your right arm up towards the sky, spin the heart up. Strong in the back leg unless you want to pop that back knee down. Speaking of love, it's George's birthday today, 23. So I'm wondering if you're probably 23 already, Katie. Okay, let's take one more deep breath in. Exhale, hands down. Take a step back. Let's lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart. Let's just pause here just for a moment. Upward facing dog is a gorgeous heart opener. So feel your heart shine up towards the sky. And then when you next exhale, let's step back into down dog. And then spin that left foot up and over, circle your ankle. And square through the hips. Let's step the left foot through, pad the back knee and come into Anahata. Another lovely heart opener. Sometimes we build walls and we think the boundaries around the heart, we build walls, and it just comes from fear, doesn't it? So feeling all those walls fall away, trust in the love. And then float your arms up towards the sky and exhale as we fold. Chin towards the big toes, draw the abdominals in, draw the left hip up and back. And let's go with the breath. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold and flex. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold and flex. Do a couple more with your breath. And then on your next exhale, let's take that lunge twist, right hand down, lift the back knee, reach the left arm up. Couple of breaths. And when you're ready, let's take a vinyasa with an exhale. So the left foot goes back, bring the body weight forwards. Bend the elbows, keep the heart lifted. Inhale, upward facing heart opener. Exhale, downward dog. Let's settle here for 3 deep breaths. Let's feel that Ahimsa flow through the system. So deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. And then on the next inhale, let's lift the right leg high. Step forward, let's come into warrior one. So land the back heel, sink down into the front leg. Lift the inner arch of the back foot and inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, bring the hands down and let's interlace the fingers behind us. Take another breath in and let's fall forward into humble warrior. So tucking the head down, squeeze the arms up and over, keep the hips tucked into the centre line. Feet are hip width in humble warrior. So it transitions really nicely from warrior one. So open the front of the shoulders. Front knee nice and strongly bent. And on your next inhale, I'm going to lift back up into warrior one. Let's straighten the front leg and spin onto the toes of the back foot. And then reach forwards with the body. So we're just going to lengthen the body out. We're going to come into warrior three. Let's do it. Hop off that left foot. Keep the toes pointing down. You can use blocks under your hands if you want to. Arms in any expression. Let's look this pose in the eye for 3 breaths. Breathe in. If warrior 3 had a face, this looks like the devil. Breathe in again. Look it in the eye. It's only temporary. It's not going to be here forever. One more breath. Well done. Right, bend that right knee. Step back with the left into crescent lunge. Inhale, press the palms, gaze up. Exhale, hands down. Let's take a step back. Shift the body weight forwards. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. The beautiful thing about yoga is it does remind us that everything that's uncomfortable is temporary. You can always come back to that inner safe place that is filled with love. So let's go on the left. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step through, land the back foot, warrior one. Gazing up to the thumbs. Tune into the breath, lengthen it, smooth it out. And we're going to interlace the fingers behind us. And as you exhale, fall forward into humble warrior. Squeeze the shoulder blades up and over. Deep breath. One more breath. And the next inhale, we're going to float the arms up, spin to the ball of the back foot. So we've squared the hips nicely now for warrior three. Let's lean forwards, switch your core on. Hop off the right foot. Find your balance. Lift the right leg, squeeze your glutes, lock on your core muscles. Arms can be in prayer, maybe forwards, out to the side, behind you, but you want to lift the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together. One more breath. We're looking it in the eye. It's going to pass. And then bend your left leg. Step the right foot back. Inhale, float your arms up, lift the heart. Exhale, let's step through into vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Let's take those lovely 3 breaths again. Feel that Ahimsa, the state of Ahimsa, the feeling, the way of being flow through you. So let's take a deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out, and again, deep breath in, deep breath out. So let's inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, step it through, land the back knee and point the toe. This time let's walk the right foot into the centre line of the body and let your right knee drop to the side. We'll just do a little hip opener here. So just maybe encouraging that right knee to drop. If you want to, you could come down onto your left elbow, and if you're feeling open in the hip, you might be able to get your right elbow down and rest your forehead on your big toe. This is when you get to check if you need a pedicure. You get a proper close-up on the toes here, but let's just go to the hip for a couple more breaths. And then easing ourselves back up, just take your foot over to the right a little bit and then take your left hand off to the left side of the mat. Bending into the left knee that's behind you, let's reach behind and grab the outside of the foot. So let's open the heart now. So we've got that right hip open, the hips are descending down. Take your heart and spiral it up and back towards the sky behind you. So if we were outdoors, we'd have to hope that there was a beautiful big sun in the sky right behind us. Turning the heart that way. You can start to push the foot into your hand, and what that does is it draws the heart even further back. Feel the openness of your heart. Take another couple of breaths. makes you vulnerable, but vulnerability is ultimately strength. It takes courage to be vulnerable. It's easy to build walls. We don't want walls, we want boundaries, we want an open heart. Let's take one more deep breath and exhale. Release your left foot. Let's bring the hands onto the ground. Now, let's just do while we're here another quick opener with the right foot on the other side of the right hand. So we're just going to bring the elbows down. You can lift that back knee if you want to. Let's just rock back and forth if you want to do that. Maybe keep the knee down and stay still. Okay, so keep your forearms on the floor, right? Should we do a dolphin? Let's do a dolphin shoulder opener. So I'm going to wiggle that right foot back, and it's like a down dog, but your elbows are on the floor. We're going to try and get those hands pointing forwards. Now keep lifting your bum and walk your feet in. Look forwards to the space between your hands. If you can come up into pincher, go for it. If you want to, which is a forearm stand. Otherwise, stay with me, hold. Maybe lift one leg, lift the other. Play with it. Oh, it's a challenging pose. And let's take one more inhale, one more exhale as you lift yourself back into downward facing dog. If you want to take a vinyasa, go through it, let's go. So we push through to plank, lower down, inhale, lift the heart, exhale, back into down dog. Okay, so let's inhale, lift the left leg, exhale, step it through. Land the back knee, bring the left foot into the centre and let it drop out. Isn't that a really good deep hip opener? So just exploring this for a few breaths. We're not in a rush. So I think that what's nice about this is that we can acknowledge that life is not good vibes only. You can't just love everyone all the time. You can't be kind to everyone all the time. You know, we're gonna feel angry, we're gonna feel selfish. But I think the beauty of it is it's temporary and it's a message, maybe something you can work with. Maybe there's something you're not facing, because our yoga mat is our mirror, isn't it? I'm just going to examine my toe now for the pedicure. I can't get my left elbow down on this side, but you might be able to. You know when you're triggered and you feel angry, you feel jealous, you feel like being mean, that's a message, isn't it? That's something that we can work with, that we can alchemize that toxic emotion into a transformation, into a release, into a forgiveness. And come back to that safe space of love. Cool, I'm tight on this side, you know. How's yours? Alright, now, what did I do next? I move that left foot over and take your right hand off the mat. Now, let's reach behind and grab the right foot. Spin your hand to the outside edge of your foot if you can. And then we're going to do all these things. We're going to let that left knee drop to the side. We're going to let the pelvis drop towards the earth. And we're going to spiral the heart up and back. So there's a twist going on here. We're most definitely feeling open and spacious. Take your gaze up and behind you. Push your foot into your hand and breathe into all those tight spots. The hips, the spine. Try and breathe space into those inner channels, the tight blocked bits. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And again, deep breath in. Wow, I absolutely love that pose. Let's softly release the right foot, bring your left hand down. Quick lizard pose. I'm going to lift the back knee, maybe take the right elbow down. See if your left elbow will go down. Rock back and forth if you want to. That's well and truly got the hips open. Okay, so let's come back into Dolphin. So wiggling this left foot to the back, forearms on the floor, walk your feet in. This is a real challenge for me, mainly because I'm so tight around the shoulders. So this is as far in as I can get. You might be able to go further. Go to the point where you feel not forced, but on the edge of that comfort zone. Maybe just outside it. Take 2 more breaths. And then place the knees down. Let's come into a child's pose. Let your heart sink down towards the earth for a moment. Okay, let's do another heart opener. Slide your hands forward. Let's come into puppy pose. So the hips stack above the knees, the arms walk forwards, the heart drops down. Heart to earth. Chin to earth. Look forwards. This is also a shoulder opener. Let me just check my messages while you just drop into that. No, I haven't got any more. So hold on to your puppy pose. So we've got another couple of people dropped in. I'm not sure who, I can't see, but welcome if you're still there. So as we just hold the puppy pose for another couple of breaths, maybe start to ponder where you might need some Ahimsa in your life, maybe some letting go, some release, some forgiveness for yourself or others. And when you can do that, you make space for the Ahimsa just to fill that gap and to flood in. Because don't forget, that's the default. You make space, you get rid, you shake off, you release the temporary difficult feelings, and the Ahimsa just comes in because it's always there. I'm just going to ease into child's pose before we do camel pose, Ustrasana. So take a couple of breaths. Let's do camel. Okay, so you can fold your mat up to pad your knees if you want to. Think about trying to keep the hips above the knees as much as possible. They'll probably come back a little bit, especially if your back isn't bendy like mine, but we try and keep the hips forward. The knees are only in line with the hips, they're not wide. Then send your tailbone down, switch your glutes on, lift your pelvic floor, that's the first thing. This stabilises the lumbar spine, so you don't want it all sticking out before you start. Tuck it under. lift your pelvic floor, Mula Bandha root lock on. Place your thumbs into your heart and your hands into prayer. And as you next inhale, just push your heart as if your heart's nudging your thumbs up towards the sky. And gaze up. So we're going to keep that pelvic stability, that lumbar stability. Take another breath. And if it feels good, go a little deeper. You might want to send your arms up. And you might want to let them dangle behind you. So we might want to hold on to the heels. If you tuck your toes, it'll lift your heels and make that easier. So keep everything stable. Send the heart up and back. And maybe reach back, grab the heels. And breathe into this beautiful heart opener. Feel the Ahimsa, fill all those spaces. It's waiting just to come in. It's always there. One more breath. And release. Come out of it nice and straight, nod your chin. Come into child's pose. I'm going to bring us to sit, okay? So, should we take a vinyasa? If you want to, join me. Come into downward facing dog. Shift the body weight forward to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, turn your toes. And then step through, come to sit. And let's roll down onto our back. Let's come into bridge, which is another heart opener. So tilt your pelvis, rise up. Interlace your fingers underneath you. Send the hips up. Send your heart up. Keep the big toes plugged in. You know, like we did in camel, you want to do the same thing. You want to stabilize the lumbar spine. So you tilt the hips backwards a bit. Switch your glutes on. If you want to go into full wheel, go for it. Urdhva, which is hands behind and push up if you want to. Let's take a couple more breaths. And then exhale, roll down. Place your hands under your bum and extend your legs. Let's come into fish pose. So keep your elbows on the ground, lift your head and lift yourself up onto your elbows. Point your toes and lift your heart. Now you want to be looking back. You might be able to get the crown of your head onto the ground. You might want to just open the throat and stay here. And then as your next exhale, let's just softly release that. Hug your knees in and just rock side to side. And let's rock ourselves up, come to sit. So we'll do a little bit of breath. A little bit of breath and meditation. So find a comfortable seat. You want to sit lotus, half lotus, maybe just cross legs, maybe on a cushion. I'm going to seal my first finger and thumb and place the backs of the hands onto the knees. You might choose to just put your hands in your lap. Feel the length of the spine. Gently nod the chin. And what we do throughout our practice is lengthen the breath and deepen it. And now I just want you to allow your breath to be at its normal rhythm and pace. Try not to control it, try and let go. Try and let your mind just watch it. Watch the breath. So your mind that always wants to be busy, give it a job as a witness, just a witness to the breath. And as you inhale, let's just visualize the heart chakra, green light, Anahata. And just visualize the heart space being filled with Ahimsa and the state of Ahimsa. The way of living and being and feeling, which always comes back to that safe space of love so that you can live a life of non-violence, non-harming to yourself and to others. Maybe you want to think about forgiving yourself or others to make that space, letting go things that we grasp and we hold on to and we define ourselves and others by. Anger, frustration, bitterness, regret. All those things are human, but sometimes we cling on to them. Maybe you can just start to think about letting some of it go and make that space. Sometimes it's difficult to let go of things, and you can have an intention that gives yourself permission to start to try. And maybe bringing awareness to walls that prevent either you letting love in or letting love out. We try to dismantle those walls. So you might want to take Shavasana. So if you are taking your Shavasana, and I hope you are, please lie yourself down, get yourself really comfortable. You know, Shavasana is a really important part of the practice, so maybe give yourself full and free permission to enjoy a Shavasana. And just as you get comfortable, I'm just going to say thank you for joining me. I wish you a heart full of Ahimsa and a life full of Ahimsa. And thanks for practicing with me. And please keep your eye open for my course in September. I've got 4 spaces left. We're going to take a deep dive, meeting every Saturday. Take a deep dive through the chakras. So I might see you then. Otherwise, namaste everyone. Thank you for practicing with me, sending you all the love, and I'll see you soon.